Let's bring in our panel on this. Criminal and civil defense attorney Mark Reichel, as well as Janos Marton, who worked with DA Alvin Bragg in the past. He is an attorney and chief advocacy officer at dream.org. Welcome both. And Mark, let's start with you. With more witnesses scheduled to take the stand this week, who are you tracking who can either help the prosecution or the defense the most?
Well, I think for the defense, when Michael Cohen takes the stand, I mean, we need to realize that just in March of 2024, he asked the federal judge who he was on probation for a federal criminal conviction. He has to terminate himself early. Please terminate me. And the judge made a finding that recently as October of 2023, he found that Mr. Cohen was lying under oath in the prior civil fraud trial against Donald Trump. I just don't know how, once Mr. Cohen is on the stand here, how that doesn't get to be, front and center in front of the jury. I think defense attorneys for Mr. Trump are going to use that big time. Additionally, I saw that, I know that Hope Hicks testified before Congress that she didn't know anything about the hush money stuff until November of 2016 after it had been paid. So those are some big issues. I think I'm not saying that Mr. Bragg's team is not going to be able to overcome that. But those are big things for me as a defense attorney that I'm going to see.
Janos, over to you. What witnesses are you really watching this week?
Well, first I want to start by noting that we've been calling this case the hush money trial for months and referring to it as the hush money scandal for years before that. And I think the goal for the previous week was really to establish for Alvin Bragg's team that this is actually about election interference and not just hush money. And I think we're going to continue seeing the witness questioning go along those lines and really trying to connect what happened in 2015, 2016 to the election. Because as we know, a hush money payment by itself is not a crime and certainly not a felony. And I would imagine that the testimony that they'll be trying to elicit, much as they elicited last week from David Pecker, will really be trying to connect those dots for the jury.
And Janos, you worked with DA Alvin Bragg in the past. Is the prosecution's layout of this case matching the strategy you've seen from him before? Does he have any tricks up his sleeve?
It's funny. I don't assume him to have many tricks up his sleeve because that really isn't his style. He is really a by the book, very, a lawyer's lawyer, not really a front and center performer who you'd expect to be at the center of the most important, arguably most important criminal trial in American political history. He generally is somebody who likes to speak through his legal documents. Even when the indictment was announced, it was a very low fanfare event. And you can imagine him, as each of these witnesses are presented by the prosecution, really hewing closely to what's in the statement of facts, what's in the indictment. There won't really be a rabbit out of a hat moment, I don't think. And you might see more sparks flying during the cross-examination, but I think what you see is what you get with DA Bragg's team. They're confident that they have a strong case, especially as it relates to sort of the first part of the trial, which is really around these business records. I think, I would agree with a lot of legal commentators that the case gets more complicated when you're talking about the political campaign aspect of this case. But for now, I think you can expect that the next couple of witnesses, are really going to keep telling the story of how the payments were made, presenting information that'll be helpful for the jury to understand what exactly happened during those pivotal months.
And last night, we had a former Trump legal advisor, May Mailman, on the show to give her thoughts on the trial so far. Let's take a quick listen together.
As far as the trial itself, I do think actually it's going fairly well for Trump, and I think that he agrees with that. The prosecution has done a lot to make it seem salacious, but they really haven't gotten anything about the case, like any elements that you'd actually need to prove for your case.
Mark, do you agree with her reaction that it's going well so far for Trump?
No, I think Alvin Bragg is doing exactly what he needed to do and what he wanted to do, very slowly, methodically, piece by piece. I mean, David Pecker's testimony really painted a picture, as well as the assistants coming in. They painted a picture of what happened here. This was catch and kill. So they said catch and kill. There's no dispute now. Catch and kill exists. So everything's going to come underneath it. And the concept here for catch and kill, great answer by David Pecker was it for Mr. Trump personally? And basically the way Pecker said, that's never, no, did you do it for campaign reasons? Excuse me, for an election? He said, never. And so I think that, and I disagree. I think it went really well for the DA's office, the first part of this trial.
All right. Mark Reichel and Janos Marton, I appreciate both of you joining us tonight. Thank you. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.